Good morning, my name is Karen Kong and I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, and welcome to my Crafting to Go series for the month of February. And this month I'm using the On Display bundle and I'm making this card today. If you have joined me before, you know that normally on Thursdays I have a this or that, and for my crafting community, I would post 2 cards and people would vote for a card to make. But this year I decided to do something a little bit different, try something new. And during the month I show 4 cards for 1 bundle, and people can qualify for a free card kit for all these cards at the end of the month if they make a qualifying purchase from me. And so this month is the On Display bundle. So if you are joining in for the first time, let me know where you're watching from, ask questions, join in the conversation, because it's more fun to craft together and to talk to somebody rather than talking to myself. I am just going to get my computer up and running so I can watch for comments and questions while we are crafting. And then I'll set up my camera. So just give me a second here. And yeah, so I am demonstrating card number 3, I think we're on. I think we're on card number 3. And all these videos will be available on Facebook for a month, and then on YouTube also. So you can watch the videos afterwards if you receive one of my kits to make the cards on your own. And those videos will be up for you for as long as you need them. Okay, so my computer is up and running. Let me move my camera over to my desk and just close your eyes. Good morning, Tara. Thanks for joining in. Just close your eyes while I'm remounting my camera. All right, here we go. All right, so if you get a qualifying order in to me during the period specified on my registration, you can message me for more information. You get all the pieces cut for you. So I have prepared most of the pieces for today, just like I would prepare for you. And we've got some die cutting going on, and I pulled out some DSP from, oh my gosh, it's from a pack that was, I think it was from Celebration, like many years ago, the Pattern Party Designer Series paper. So I have been repurposing or using some of my stash. Hi, Shalee, thanks for joining. Thanks, Tara. Yeah, I like this card. I just had trouble like finishing it last night, you know, arranging it and then putting in the pieces where I wanted it to go. And if you'll notice, this piece here is actually the middle piece that pops out when you die cut using this frame. Okay, so you've got all these pieces here. I've kept a lot of them and I didn't know what to do with them. I wasn't sure what I was going to do with them. And then I saw Sarah Douglas had demonstrated cards that she made using these pop-outs as tags. So I thought that was a great idea. So this is my version of using the pop-outs as a tag. And I'm going to have to figure out how I can use more of them. But so here we go. We are making this card today. Let me get started and make some room here. We're going to do some stamping. And I've got most of my pieces die cut already. And I put them in this little bin. All right, so I also pulled out a retired color. This is Pear Pizazz, kind of like a soft green. I really like it. I still have some left, so those of you getting the kits will be getting some retired stash here. Okay, so that's Pear Pizazz, and then I also embossed a top matte in the subtle 3D embossing folder. I just wanted some texture, and I was thinking about what I wanted to use for the background texture, but I couldn't decide. Like, from what I had in my stash, I felt that this was probably the best one to use for this card. So this is the subtle 3D embossing. I'm just going to glue it on. Let's get some glue. So we're getting some sunshine today. The temperatures have been milder lately in Ottawa. We just missed a snowstorm that I heard hit the Toronto area. We somehow managed to go unscathed, so I feel very lucky. It's kind of nice not going outside and feeling that biting wind. It's kind of nice. It feels a little bit like spring, but I don't even want to say that because I am sure there's probably some more cold temperatures coming back at some point, but it's a nice kind of reprieve. Yeah, so I want to do something else with those pop-out pieces too. I feel like they could make a good background for the shelf in another card. I just haven't decided. Yes, I heard, Tara, there's snow coming tomorrow, but hopefully not a lot. Okay, so that's just the card base and the matting put on top of that. This is that DSP I told you about, and I cut a white piece that is just a little bit bigger, so it's like a 1/16 of an inch all around. So I'm just going to mount that. If you haven't already heard, today is day 2 of the free shipping promotion. So if you're wanting something, this is a good time to get it. So for Canadians, it is minimum $100 for the free shipping offer. And I had no intention of buying anything up until this free shipping promo started, and suddenly I met the minimum. I actually saw the paper pumpkin that's coming for March, and it is gorgeous. It's a hummingbird theme, and there's Mother's Day stamp inside of that one, so I am getting that. Plus I got the add-on, which is exclusive to the Paper Pumpkin subscribers only, which has a die in there for the word beautiful, and I think I can make good use of that, so I was excited to get that too. Okay, good morning, Janice. Thanks for joining. Okay, so yeah, so you could put lots of things in on this little shelf. I chose to do all plants, and that's something I had on my mind for a while. I die cut the pieces, and I will try to stamp on them as is. And if that doesn't work out, if my stamping goes askew, I will chalk that up to reality crafting, and we'll just die cut another piece or stamp and then die cut. But these are the pieces I would send out, and you could just stamp them yourself, or you can replace them with whatever you have in your stash. Okay, so some of the vases are already pre-die cut, and it's the right color. I have another piece here. This is rich razzleberry. I really pulled out a bunch of like retired stuff. I just realized how much retired stuff I'm using. Yay for me. But you can use whatever works in your stash. You can reuse this layout for something else. Use different colors that are current, but I just happened to pick this one. So I was aiming to go with more feminine colors this week because the first 2 cards were more masculine. But this one's kind of in between. It's not feminine or masculine. I think it's fairly neutral. I think anybody should be able to receive this card. Okay, let me grab a block and let's find the stamps for this. Here we go. Let's stamp the leaf. Oh, and this is the pot. So let's get that one out on a block too. Okay. Here's the leaves. And let's bring in my Pear Pizazz. Oh, Shali, I didn't know. I lost track of what color you were talking about. The color that you love, and you haven't used much because you don't have DSP. Yeah, you know what? I realized earlier on in my collecting days that I should focus my inks on and my cardstocks on the DSPs that I buy, because typically you want to match the DSPs that you're using, right? So, all right. So I'm just inking up my stamp, and I visually inspect it to make sure it looks completely inked up. And just gonna line this up with the die cut. Hopefully my head is not in the way. I'm just having to try and figure out where it is. Oh, there we go. Let's try that. If it doesn't work, we'll just have to stamp. Oh, Rich Razzleberry. Yes, that is one of my favorites. And sad that it doesn't, they don't have that anymore. Well, it's a little bit off. We might try that again if we have time. I might stamp that. Let's stamp it right now, and then if I decide I don't want to use that, we can go ahead and die cut it. Not bad. So you'll notice there's like an extra piece here that doesn't get stamped. That's the part that's going to get glued to the pot. Whoops, I just inked up the wrong one. Okay, let's stamp this again while we have it out. This is a scrap piece that I have that was stuck to something else. I have like a little bit of adhesive on the edge there. Okay, so that's stamped. And let's get the other plant. Just trying to remember where I put this. This one goes here. And here's the little leaves. Okay. Janice, I actually don't always die cut first, but I do know that there are demonstrators who do that. They will die cut first and then stamp. I prefer to stamp and then die cut, but when I send it I provide the card kits, I would have to send out pre-cut die cuts. I'm kind of flexible on that. It's just if I had like a lot of people who wanted kits, I might not die cut everything. But so far my customer base is small, so I can go ahead and die cut if I have time. But there are some people who come craft in person. That one turned out really well. So then I will either I might provide like several of them, so in case people make a mistake, I might give like 2 of this instead of just 1. Yeah, I'm still flexible because I don't have a huge customer base. I can afford to spend a little bit of extra time. But there's always a caveat just in case. There's so many people that I just don't have the time to do all of it. But actually, if there's for my class, my in-person class, I may die cut a whole bunch in first, and I will set up my stamparatus so that I can easily just put the die cut into a spot for stamping. I don't know if you've ever done that. It's for mass production. That is a really good way to do it. I can show that another day if you have not done that before. Okay, I'm just inking up in Rich Razzleberry, and let's see how this goes. This one's a little easier because the pot is like doesn't have like dents and curves and stuff that are more difficult to follow. Well, it turns out, okay, reality crafting, so I can't align that. I have been more successful in the past, but it is what it is. Let's let's put one on the extra sheet here, and I can die cut that properly, because right now my pot looks askew on that die cut. And for the hello that's on that sentiment tag, I think I may actually use the Stamparatus, because sometimes I don't get a good coverage the first time. I don't know why with the hello. I tried it a couple of times yesterday and I wasn't happy with it, so I ended up putting it on my Stamparatus. So let's bring that in. And for those of you who don't have a Stamparatus, there is a new stamping tool. It's a stamping positioner tool, and it is free with, if you join, I think it's this month the promotion runs. Yeah, so you can get the new stamping positioner free if you join this month, and you will have a tool that allows you to stamp multiple times. Let me just see where this is. Yeah, I think that's where I lined it up. Okay, so this is where a grip mat would be very useful. That was a tool that one of my team members introduced us to. Basically a sticky mat that you could put your pieces onto that will keep them in place without any tape or anything. And that would be handy because this piece of paper is so small. The magnets are almost covering, but I just have enough time. Enough room to get the stamp in there. Yeah, maybe I'll do like a session on mass production stamping with the Stamparatus. Although, you know, I don't know how many people have Stamparatuses at this point. If you're a new stamper and you don't have a Stamparatus, then I'm not sure. Well, I guess you could use it with a positioner. The new stamping positioner, I'm sure you could set it up some way similarly and achieve the same effectiveness. Oh, I'm not sure what you're referring to, Tara. Tap under it. I'm not sure. I've lost track of where that is, because I know there's a slight time delay in my conversation and your comments. Okay, so there is my hello. Let me just clean off my stamp. I still love my chamois. I have a new one that's not all cracked, but I haven't broken it out yet. Tap under the small piece instead of the magnetic. Oh, tape under. I kept saying tap. Yes, that's true. Yeah. Actually, you know what I've done before is I have put like a tiny bit of Stampin' Seal, like or like a piece of, you could use tear and tape or whatever, but just like a tiny dot of adhesive to hold it in place. That I've used that before, but I managed to make it fit with the magnets today. All right, let's put that aside. Okay, I think I have all my pieces except for the ones I need to die cut again. Let's bring in the cut and emboss machine and we'll get a proper die cut of those pieces. Janice, do you have a Stamparatus or some kind of stamp positioning tool? Because I know there are other tools out on the market, and I can't recall. Like, I know there's one very similar to the Stamparatus, and I don't remember what it's called, but I do know they exist, and you can get them elsewhere. But here we go. But yeah, there is a way to do mass production using your Stamparatus. And keep in mind, I didn't want to get my head in the way of the camera, so it might have been more successful stamping if I was able to get right over top of what I was stamping and to see where I'm putting my stamp. You know what, I'm not going to put these side by side because I don't know what it is, like static electricity or whatever, but they just want to stick to each other sometimes. So let's do this one first. Okay. My top plate. Okay, that's better. And let's get the pot die cut. Yeah, Janice, I think you have the right idea. The full comment is not showing on the side there, but yeah, you basically need a frame that you're going to put your die cut piece back into, and then once you die cut more, you can just keep putting those die cut pieces back into the frame and just stamping right in there, and everything should stay lined up. Okay, I have my pieces. Just let me bring them back in from the side here. And I had used some of the Country Woods DSP to make my shelf for the first card, and I brought back the same one. I was going to use a different piece from the collection, but I actually like this particular shade of brown. There was another dark one there. You could use that too, or a lighter one. I just really like this one, so I'm using it again. Okay, let's put this together. All right, actually, I don't need this yet. I'm gonna just decorate this first. So I'm gonna put my piece of wood on here first. Let me get my tweezers out and ready. Just going to put a thin line of glue. You can use tear and tape, that works too. Oh, just a second. I'm sorry, I have to blow my nose. Just when I hadn't sneezed all morning. Okay. Oh, I'm almost out of glue here. Oh, there we go. Okay, so just a thin line of glue. Okay, and this is where my tweezers come in really handy. So get them all over my fingers. And I'm just going to put it like about 1/4 of an inch from the bottom, and I'm going to line it up with my right side of my DSP. Just making sure that's straight, and that's the beauty of using glue, is that I have a couple of seconds to kind of nudge it into the right spot. Yeah, that looks about right. Okay, so let's grab this die cut. So this is the one that is actually, I think it's meant to be a cookie jar, and it has like these cute little indentations here that makes a pattern. And I'm going to put it on the left side of my shelf, but I want to actually make sure I leave enough room for my hanging, I think these are ferns of some sort. So I cut one in Pear Pizazz, and the other one is soft sea foam. Oh, really? You don't like using the tweezers, Shali? I really love them because my fingers, I mean, your fingers get in your own way otherwise. So I'm just going to, actually, you know what? I like to lay things out before I glue it on because I need to know what spacing I have. So let's get the other pots and assemble our plants. Okay, so if you realize there's these little white things at the end, that is for your pots to be glued onto your plants. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue here and a little bit of glue here. So yeah, the tweezers, I mean, it gets my fingers out of the way, and then I can hold it over wherever I need to put it and line things up. Okay, same thing for this. All right. So I'm just going to arrange this so I know that I put my my pot in the right place. And I actually want to overlap this a little bit. So roughly here. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to glue down is this piece in the middle because it is behind the other two pieces. All right. I think that's roughly in the right spot. And I'm just going to use some glue. Oh, perfect, Janice. I'm glad this will come in handy for you today. Yeah, just practice using the tweezers, Shirley. I really find that it is so useful for little pieces and for just like, you know, when I'm trying to figure out a layout, I like to use the tweezers to hold it in place over where I want it to be and just kind of, you know, think about how it looks without my fingers in the way, right? Okay, so this I'm going to glue down next. Just be careful not to use too much glue behind those little V marks there because they will kind of ooze through if there's a lot of glue. I'm just going to put that right next to it. Okay. And this one I may actually put up. I think I put this on a dimensional. So I'm going to put the darker Pear Pizazz underneath. Okay. And I'm only going to put glue kind of in these sections. Maybe I'll put a little bit there. Just so that it's got some movement to it, right? So it's not completely flat. So you just use little tiny dots of glue. Okay. Right. And I'll do the same thing on here. I don't know exactly where these are going to stick on, but some of these glue dots will take somewhere. Okay, and I'm just going to offset a little bit for interest so you can see the darker pieces underneath. There. All right, so now this piece I'm going to mount on, yeah, I put it on a dimensional. And I think I only put the dimensionals on the back here, not on top of where, do you see where these overlap? Just so that it lies flat. you don't get any bump. So I'll put them on and I'll show you. Okay, I've taken the dimensionals off. Oh, I'm missing one. There we go. Okay, so if you see that I only put the dimensionals and made sure that it was on the vase, but not on where the, oh, you can see it's a little bit out of focus there. It's not where the plant got glued to the pot. Okay, so then you don't get any sort of bumps. Okay. So it's very slightly overlapping here. All right, and hello is also going to be on dimensionals. So because there are several layers underneath here, I don't want it to be uneven. So the way I do that is I can tell that the top part is can still lie flat. So I'm going to put dimensionals here, and I know there's a gap here, so I'm going to put the dimensional right on the spot that I want it to go on the matte layer. So there's going to be one right here in between, and then two along the top over here. Let's take the backings off. Okay, so you can see it's on the back of the top of the hello, and then I have one here already that will support the middle. All right, I think what I'll do now is I will mount this onto the front of my card, okay, and then we'll put the twine on afterwards. So I did use dimensionals for this. If you feel like it's too high, I don't think it's too high for going through the mail, but if you think it's too high, you can always mount that just flat with glue. I'm going to take the border pieces here, since I know I have a long piece to put dimensionals on. Put this here. And I mean, it's totally up to you how you want to put dimensionals on your piece. I could just get away with the four corners. I think I'm going to put one right in the middle just to support the middle. If you have trouble peeling off the backings, you can use take your pick tool or a toothpick, or even just something sharp to pierce the backing and lift it up. All right, so again, my tweezers come in handy because I like to hold it over my card base to place it, and here I'm just kind of centering it. Okay, there we go. And let's tie some twine. Okay. I always like to tie it on the spool, because if I get the wrong length, or if I don't have enough length or whatever, I can just undo the bow and start again and not waste any. Because I have cut them too short before and then not been able to use the ribbon or the twine, and that piece doesn't get used and gets thrown away. So I find this is more efficient and avoids waste. And if you get a card kit from me, I always aim to try to tie the bows for you. I think that's the right size. Maybe a little bit smaller. Okay, so let's trim this. A little bit of excess on this side. All right, and I like to use a half a glue dot because the knot is so small. I have, I think I have, oh yes, I have a half a dot on here. So I'm just going to stick the knot right on top of that glue dot, that half glue dot, and then peel off the whole thing. And I'm just going to stick it in the corner here. And that is it. So that is the card today. This is card number 3, and you will be, if you have placed a qualifying order, you will get all the pieces to make this card. It's pretty simple to put together, just a little bit of arranging, a little bit of stamping, and voila. So I hope that inspires you for this week. I am looking forward to the last card. I already know that it's going to be a lot of die cutting because that's my fanciest card to come. And Shalee, I'm happy to give you bow lessons if you like the next time we get together. I don't know, it just takes a little bit of fiddling around and playing with it. Not too hard. It's okay. So have fun with that, and have a great week. Have some fun crafting. See you later. Bye.